Once upon a time, in the time of history, there were the Ostrogoths, a branch of the mighty Goths, an East Germanic tribe that left an indelible mark on the late Roman Empire. Their story, intertwined with political upheavals, is a tale of rise and fall. Picture this, a divided Gothic realm, where the Ostrogoths coexisted with their counterparts, the Visigoths. The Ostrogoths, led by their Romanized king, Theodoric the Great, reached the pinnacle of their power in the first quarter of the 6th century. Under Theodoric's reign, they not only established a successor state in Italy and Pannonia, but also briefly held sway over Hispania and southern Gaul. However, the winds of fortune shifted, and by the mid-6th century, the Ostrogoths found themselves entangled in the Gothic war with Rome. This conflict, spanning from 535 to 554, had devastating consequences for Italy and marked the decline of the Ostrogothic influence. The Ostrogoths, although not leaving behind a lasting political entity, played a significant role in the grand stage of European history. As the curtain fell on their dominance, they became assimilated into the various lands they had once traversed. Their legacy, though transient, contributed to the tapestry of human development. But let's rewind to the roots of the Goths. In the year 291, the division of the Goths became apparent. The Tervingi, Greuthungi, Vessi, and Ostrogothi emerged as distinct entities. Historical accounts from figures like Ammianus Marcellinus and Claudian shed light on their existence, with the Ostrogoths first named in a document from Milan in 392. The terminology of Tervingi and Greuthungi served as geographical identifiers, distinguishing each tribe. However, these labels gradually faded into obscurity after the Gothic encounter with the Hunnic invasions. The terms Vessi and Ostrogothi became self-descriptive, representing the pride of each people. As the Goths entered the Roman Empire, the nomenclature of Greuthungi and Tervingi fell out of use, paving the way for a new term, Visigoth. Coined by Cassiodorus in the 6th century, this term reflected the division of Goths into Western and Eastern. Cassiodorus, in the service of Theodoric the Great, envisioned Visigothi as the Western Goths and Ostrogothi as the Eastern. The saga of the Goths continued with other names, including the Valagothi and Valamariaci, highlighting their Roman connections. Even the etymology of Greuthungi and Ostrogothi added a layer of mystery, with possible meanings like steppe dwellers and Goths of the rising sun. In a time long before recorded history, the Goths emerged as a single nation. Up until the 3rd century, they stood united, worshipping a patron deity known to the Romans as Mars. However, as the population in the region north of the Black Sea grew, a natural split occurred, leading to the formation of two distinct groups, the Greuthungi in the east and the Tervingi in the west. These two Gothic tribes, despite their separation, shared many commonalities. They, along with other tribes like the Sarmatians, Gepids, Dacians, and more, established a formidable kingdom between the Danube and the Dnieper, spanning present-day Romania, Moldavia, and western Ukraine. This multi-tribal state, ruled by a Gothic elite, flourished during the 3rd and 4th centuries, creating a diverse yet interconnected society. However, the rise of the Huns in 370 brought about a dramatic shift. Gothic kingdoms succumbed to the overwhelming force of the Huns, forcing many Goths to migrate into Roman territory in the Balkans. Under Hunnic rule, they became vassals, participating in European conflicts, such as the Battle of Chalons in 451. Yet, the collapse of Hunnic power in the 450s triggered further upheaval, leading the Goths north of the Danube to migrate to the Balkans, ultimately becoming the Ostrogoths. The post-Hunnic era marked a new chapter for the Ostrogoths. Their recorded history began with their independence from the remnants of the Hunnic Empire after the death of Attila in 453. Allied with former rivals like the Gepids, the Ostrogoths played a pivotal role in breaking Attila's son's power in the Battle of Nidau in 454. Now in relations with the Roman Empire, the Ostrogoths were settled in Pannonia. Theodoric the Great, the future leader of the Ostrogothic kingdom, emerged as a prominent figure. Born around 454, Theodoric spent his early years in Constantinople as a diplomatic hostage, receiving a careful education. His adulthood was marked by disputes, intrigues, and wars within the Byzantine Empire. Theodoric, known for his alliance with the Catholic Church and the pursuit of Roman revival, embarked on a mission in 488 to recover Italy from Odoacer. By 493, Ravenna was captured, and Theodoric established his capital. The collapse of Odoacer, at Theodoric's own hand, solidified Ostrogothic power over Italy, Sicily, Dalmatia, and the lands to the north. A time of uncertainty followed Theodoric's death, with the Ostrogothic king becoming the guardian of his grandson Amalaric. While Toulouse passed to the Franks, the Goths retained Narbonne and Septimania, holding onto the last fragments of Gaul. Theodoric's rule saw a unique blend of Gothic and Roman cultures, with the Goths and Romans living side by side under his dominion. Theodoric's reign, meticulously chronicled by his Roman minister Cassiodorus, exemplified a dynamic interplay between the two nations. The Goths, once a powerful presence in northern Italy, now served as protectors of the peaceful Romans. However, this dualistic rule, while thriving under Theodoric, faced challenges and ultimately fragmented after his death. In the aftermath of Theodoric's death in 526, the once united Goths faced a period of separation. The Visigoths and Ostrogoths, now distinct entities, found themselves entangled in disputes and power struggles among Gothic elites. Successors like Amalaric and Athalaric attempted to navigate these challenges, but internal conflicts persisted, leading to the rise of Theodahad and subsequent bloodshed. Meanwhile, the vulnerability of the Ostrogothic position in Italy became evident. Emperor Justinian I, with aspirations to restore the West Roman Empire, seized the opportunity. In 535, he commissioned Belisarius to launch an attack on the Ostrogoths. The Byzantine general swiftly captured Sicily, Naples, and Rome, making significant gains in Italy by 540. As the tide of war turned, Justinian offered the Goths a generous settlement, proposing an independent kingdom in northwest Italy. However, the Goths, distrustful of Justinian, sought assurance from Belisarius. A faction within the Gothic nobility, recognizing the weakness of their king Witiges, endorsed Belisarius. In a surprising turn, Belisarius accepted their crown, rode to Ravenna to be crowned, but instead arrested Gothic leaders and claimed their entire kingdom for Byzantium. This turn of events upset Justinian, who desired a stable buffer between his western border and the Franks. Belisarius was sent to face the Persians in the east, leaving John, a Byzantine officer, to govern Italy temporarily. Upon Belisarius's return to Italy in 545, the situation had changed dramatically. The pro-Roman faction had fallen, and a new Gothic leader, Totila, emerged in 541. Totila, a Gothic nationalist and brilliant commander, recaptured northern Italy, driving the Byzantines out of Rome. The struggle continued as Belisarius, despite tricking Totila into yielding Rome, faced challenges due to Justinian's withholding of supplies. In 548, Justinian replaced Belisarius with the unit general Narses, who eventually defeated Totila in the Battle of Tagini in July 552. Totila's followers met their fate in the Battle of Mons Lactarius in October 552 or 553. The last attested member of the Gothic army, Widin, revolted in the late 550s but was captured and brought to Constantinople for punishment in 561 or 562. With the defeat of Widin, the Ostrogothic name vanished, marking the end of the nation that had practically dissipated since Theodoric's death. The leadership of Western Europe defaulted to the Franks, altering the course of early medieval Europe. The opportunity to form a national state in Italy, uniting Roman and Germanic elements as seen in Gaul and Iberia, was lost. Despite their transient rule in Italy, the Goths left a lasting legacy. Gothic literature, including Ulfilas's Bible, and legal codes such as Theodoric's Edict and the Visigothic laws under Receswinthe, attest to their cultural impact. Latin and Greek writers of the time, along with Salvian of Marseille, provide contrasting perspectives on Gothic virtues, reflecting the complex relationship between the Goths and the regions they once ruled.